Hi everyone, thank you for joining today. My name is René van Popering and I will be your solution architect for today's webinar and for the Product Essential series. And for today we have the topic how to streamline reviews, collaborate with remote teams, customers and suppliers. To introduce myself, I've been part of Jama for about 2.5 years. I have over 20 years of experience in workforce engagement, quality management, and software engineer domain with industry expertise around requirement management, risk control, and medical device technology. Also, I have built up my experience understanding the regulated risk and sensitive industries, engaging with Jama prospects and customers on a daily basis across our EMEA region. By identifying and recommending process improvements to achieve traceability across their product development process, help the ease of burden to increasingly complex and competitive ecosystems. Before I begin, I wanted to cover a few housekeeping items. At the bottom of your screen are multiple application engagement tools. Each of the tools are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them around to get the most out of your desktop space today. You can expand your presentation area or maximize it to full screen by clicking on the arrows at the top right corner. If you have any questions during the webcast, you can submit them through the Q&A section in the tool. We try to answer as much as we can today during the webcast. But if any in-depth answer is needed or we run out of time, it will be answered later in a follow-up by email. Please know we do capture all questions, so no inquiry will be left unanswered. Some of the network causes slides to proceed more slowly than others. So if the slides are behind, just push the F5 button on your keyboard and it will refresh your screen. You can find additional answers to some of the common technical issues located in the help widget at the bottom of your screen. A copy of today's slide deck and additional helpful materials are available in the resource list. I encourage you to download any resource or link that you may find useful. And lastly, this webinar will be recorded and sent via email you're registered by. It also will be available to watch later at Jama's website. Okay, let's look at the agenda for today. Today we are going to provide a quick tour of real-time collaboration with Jama Connect. In this demonstration, I will review common challenges experienced by product development teams and address how Jama Connect provides a solution to support these remote engineering team challenges. After this introduction, I will provide you a live product demonstration where you will learn how to, for example, use Review Center to manage your reviews, make the commenting stream as predictive as can be, use Jama Connect to provide actionable feedback using the Review Center comments, for example, and also use Jama Connect to moderate reviews by stakeholder feedback, extending to outside immediate development teams. So let's get started for today. So looking at the challenge, we commonly hear our customers that it is challenging to manage increased demand for remote engineering teams. The driving force of COVID-19 pandemic has placed increased demand and pressure on how teams effectively collaborate remotely. What is driving the way your teams collaborate? What are the challenges you currently experience throughout the product development cycles? I will pause now for a moment to check with your own thoughts before we dive into what typically seen as common challenges to remote engineering. Now, let's look at some of these challenges. As we work with companies developing next generation projects, we have found they seek options to improve their collaboration and to manage the increased demand and complexity of remote engineering effectively. While Tools like Zoom, Slack, and shared documents remain essential communication tool for remote workers. The communication demands for virtual engineering teams building complex products are more complicated comparing to normal remote workers. Communications requires that teams be aligned. Teams that work with structured and live data need to define, review, and validate it at any given time to ensure the right team has the correct information at the right time. The critical functionality of the product they are working on could depend on it. Also, collaboration goes beyond the ability to share information. To define and design products successfully, communication among teams and stakeholders needs to go actually beyond the basics of collaboration. It's more than just conversation or a simple text edit. Instead, collaboration has a couple of items. It needs to be structured, it needs to include context, and it needs to provide visibility. Under normal circumstances, company might come to Jama software for help because they are using a document-based approach like Word and Excel to design and manage the execute the requirements. That's a common practice still nowadays. Now that there are suddenly remote scattered, this method of managing requirements becomes exponentially more challenging and will have some more significant negative impact on their process, such as siloed communications, slow approvals and reviews, not understanding what needs to be done, a very manual process, change management and version control challenges. When you need to look at the same type of information, it is also good to have a single source of truth. And that can also increase the risk of a lot of rework. As these complexity within remote engineering have increased, the need to link the overall development process and teams have become critical to ensure visibility and risk management across the development life cycles. Now, what can be the solution here? Looking at the solution, Jama can meet all of these challenges. It's a central place for requirement management, for risk management, for test management, but it's also a place for building an expert community. And we can help with that. And looking at the next slide, helping development teams stay aligned is core of what Jama does. We can help companies modernize, digitize, and transform their requirement management process, which means engineering teams can adapt quickly to their remote work reality without jeopardizing quality, efficiency, or product development timelines. Jama Connects made it easy for teams to define, align, and execute what they need to build, reduce lengthy cycle times, wasteful rework, and effort spent on providing compliance. Our solution delivers three key categories. The first one is, of course, requirement management. Establish continuous version control and traceability between requirements, task, and test to optimize processes, ensure quality, and demonstrate compliance. Support multiple development methodologies and engineering disciplines to drive cross-team collaboration and alignment. Another part is the risk and hazard analysis. This solution component performs risk management throughout the development cycle to ensure quality and safety. We have found that integration of risk and hazard analysis into the design process provides access to real data, real-time data, and ensures visibility into the risk-related requirements and mitigation. Third part will be the test management. This component brings quality teams into the development process earlier, streamlined reviews and approvals, and manage testing in real time. Perform manual testing and integration with trusted test execution and automation solutions. Define, organize, and execute requirement-based test plans and test cases to ensure quality and compliance. And looking at the engagement structure for development teams, it's an integral and critical part of all disciplines to have a streamlined process by visibility, insights, and awareness to define the next steps of activities. If you look at some of the key features, and one we are talking about today is indeed driving optimization of collaboration. Awareness, enabling reviews can make a difference solving, for example, restricted views on requirements, insights can lead to product failures. Teams without the right collaborative tools can be at risk for unseen and late stages challenges. But also product and systems complexity driving the need for early stage reviews and collaboration at any aspect and discipline. Adopting practices that result in fewer requirements defects will reduce the amount of development rework your teams must perform. Performing with less rework has a direct payback through reduced product development cost and quicker time to market. Techniques that get your teams and customers working closer together lead to products that better meet customer needs and often and faster time to market as well.